Recruit training is long enough. It was 3 months when I went in. I made a few videos about that, and 1 week doesn't even count as receiving week. Your biggest fear is getting dropped. Now, let's explain what that is. Some of you who are in the Marines know, some of you who don't know. You start with your platoon receiving day one, and there were 68 of us in the original platoon, 1085. Out of the original recruits that were part of 1085, we graduated 22 of us. So sometimes people would get dropped along the way. A few weeks into it, you sustain an injury. You go to this medical reprocessing platoon called MRP. If you can't make the runs, you're a little overweight, whatever, you get dropped and go to what's called PCP, Physical Conditioning Platoon, or what we call the Pork Chop Platoon. But it's your biggest fear because your recruit training is lasting weeks and weeks and weeks longer until you can pick up with another platoon that is currently where you got dropped. So that is your biggest fear. So when I went in, I just started blistering up really bad. Improper footwear, I have wide feet, the boots were horrible, the black Cadillacs that made us wear. This got worse and worse and worse. It got pretty disgusting, I won't tell you, but it felt like I was standing in hot coals and couldn't take my feet off of it. Was on antibiotics most of the time in recruit training, but I still did what I had to do. It took me probably 10 times more effort just to get across the deck and outside, marching, running, all that stuff. So over several weeks, my drill instructor would say, hey, you dropped a run, you got to make it up. But I did everything I was supposed to do, but it was difficult, and sometimes I had to do things over again. I am at third phase, BWT and A-line. I guess known as the Crucible over time and then known as something else. So my heavy walks up to me and he says, look, recruit, I need to drop you. So of course that adrenaline rush went through me. It was a horrible feeling. He said, look, it's just, this thing's getting worse and worse and worse. You've been on antibiotics the whole time. I wish you luck, recruit. So he took me to this MRP, and I was in the hallway up against a brick wall. He just said, good luck to you, recruit, and walked out. So here's where it gets interesting. When you get dropped, you don't come back. You never come back to that platoon that you left, your original platoon. Again, you pick up later with another platoon. So when a recruit gets dropped, come mail call that day, usually in the afternoon, they will call their name. And let's say a recruit was dropped. They call everyone's name, but when it's your name, the one who got dropped, let's say my name was Connor. And so they say, recruit Connor. All the recruits go, dead, sir, because I got dropped. And that's what happens. They call your name and they say, dead, sir, instead of here, sir. So I go to get evaluated. And a naval corpsman brings me in a room. He's looking at my feet. And as much pain as I was in, I won't get into how disgusting my feet were. You don't need to hear that. And he's pushing on my blisters. And he's like asking me, how bad the pain is. I'm like, it's a little, even though I felt like I was standing in hot coals. And he's like, so your DI sent you here for blisters? I'm like, yes, sir. I'm like, we all get blisters. I'm like, I got 2 weeks left. I said, I'm good. I made the run. I did all the stuff in BWT and A-line. I went through that whole, course and everything. He's like, yeah, it's kind of odd to get dropped for blisters. I said, I know. I said, I'm totally fine. I said, I can go finish this. He goes, you know what? I'm just going to send you back to your platoon. Here's some antibiotics. We're going to soak your feet in iodine, wrap them. This doesn't happen. So I kind of bullshitted my way out of it and kind of raised doubt to the evaluator as well. So here's the cool part. So I'm on a duty van going back to our sea huts, the last day of A-line. And it's pouring rain. As soon as we pull up, they were doing mail call. And I get out of the van, I walk in, and they say, Connor, dead, sir. I say, here, sir. You should have seen the look on all the recruits' faces turning around. And then one of my drill instructors, kind of a goofy guy, he turned and he did this usual look and he goes, what are you doing here, Connor? I said, reporting back for duty, sir. He just looked at me and goes, sit down. True story. I bullshitted my way out of being dropped. So I started as original recruit of Platoon 1085, and I graduated with 1085. I did everything I was supposed to do, but I got out of being dropped. Semper Fi. Yeah.